Yeah. Okay, so as per our last discussion, we have discussed on IP protocol, and I was explaining IPv4. Okay, so let's continue. I'm just summarizing key what we have discussed, and I'm trying to reconnect key what we were discussing in the last lecture, because it's first lecture for this week. So we are on our fourth unit. We are discussing about the network layer. So in the network layer, I have just completed the internet working. After that, we come at the main point that we call the addressing service of the network layer. So in this addressing service of the network layer, we first going to discuss on the very important protocol of the network layer that we call the IP protocol, internet protocol. In this internet protocol, uh, I have started the discussion. So what is internet protocol? This internet protocol have two version: internet protocol version 4 and internet protocol version 6. So we are going to discuss first about internet protocol version 4. In this internet protocol version 4, I have explained unreliable, connectionless datagram protocol for the best effort we use. After that, we have also discussed on a very important concept of the IPv4. It was related to the error detection, not the error. It was just was the error control function. It was not just going to detect the error, or we have also discussed on the flow control. After that, we have discussed on the no guarantee of the delivery. So this was the main feature of the internet protocol 4. Now we have started the discussion on the header. So in the header, I was telling it's 20 to 60 byte various variable header size. We can just use the 21. It's depend on the requirement of the system. So the header size is vary between 20 to 60, and the total payload can be 65,536 byte. So this thing we have discussed. In the concept of this header, we have completed the version. So it will define which version of the IPv or IP protocol we are using. So we have two version, IP4 and IPv6. So this 4-bit we were using for to define the version. After that, we have discussed about the header length. So the 4-bit was going to use to define the header length. Suppose my header length we are considering the 25 for a specific packet. So this thing will be just mentioned, or this value will be just defined here. After that, we have discussed on the service. So this 8-bit we were considering, we are trying to use into the future, and the future is now. Or so we are using the services in the way of IoT service, and we are using the number of intelligent network service to define the service with the help of the service bit. We have also discussed on the total length. So the total length is a combination of header and the data size. So that is a 16-bit field and going to define the total length. After that, we were trying to understand the identification field. So in this identification field, I was saying, suppose one source address or source IP address is coming, and the source IP address is also involving the intermediate count or intermediate hint related to the intermediate node. Suppose my source is Sunny, and the address of Sunny is this, and the receiver is this. So now the intermediate are intermediate nodes are like Ravi, intermediate node like a Shubham, intermediate node maybe Jinetu. So these three are the intermediate nodes, and when I am transferring one packet from Sunny to this R receiver, so this all will just add a identification number with that packet. So it will be clear at this point ki how many paths they have followed, and it will just clarify ki recently I have received this packet. The source address is this, but recently I have received this packet from this person. So that is the identification field, or we are going to discuss on this today. And I have also added the flakes 3-bit field we are using for the flake. fragmentation offset. So the 13-bit fragmentation offset we use. So mean of the fragmentation is that key, suppose I have one long datagram segments, or in this datagram segments I have 1,000 bits. Okay, so this datagram segments come from this place and we have converted into the packets. So now the packets maybe contain how many fragmentations or how many paths for this offset. So that is going to define by the fragmentation offset. Protocol I have explained. We just use which protocol we are using for the services of IP. Then the time to leave. How much time this packet will be uh, how much time this packet will exist into the network, so that we use the field time to leave. And the last we call the header checksum. So this header checksum will be clear to everyone. So today I am going to try to explain the identification, flag and fragmentation, because this all field I have already explained. So if anyone have any doubt, then you can ask me. So let's version, header length, service, total length. This we have discussed in the last lecture. Checksum. So once complement we follow for the checksum into the IPv4. That means we just detect, we not correct the error. After that we have discussed on the source address and destination address. So it's a IPv4 address of the source and IPv4 address of the destination. I have explained the mean or encapsulation of the maximum transfer unit, why we were following the maximum transfer unit. Then I have also explained how the protocol was going to involve. So which protocol of the transport layer and which protocol of the network layer we are adding with the header field. So that is going to define by the protocol value number. So that there are some example of the protocol number. This I have explained in the last. Then we have discussed on the maximum transfer unit. So when we will discuss about the data link layer, so that time one header and teller will be there, but the IP datagram will be defined by the MTU key. What is the exact size? So in this exact size or in the MTU size, you can just consider it will be the combination of header also and the data also. So I hope it will be clear what was the mean of this MTU. Then I have given one real life example of the MTU that we call the maximum transfer unit. So different protocol network we have, and in this different protocol network we have a capacity of the MTU. So we have discussed how the Bluetooth is at the low MTU, that we call the 576, and the maximum we call the hyper channel. So I will just explain what is the mean of this hyper channel. So this hyper channel is a combination of number of Ethernet channel. You can just say if we are trying to combine the number of Ether channel, so they can just provide the maximum speed or maximum data transfer unit of the packets into the network. So I think it will be clear. It was clear. Yeah, Tilan, today I'm just going to explain the three important identification, flag and fragmentation. So don't worry, I'm coming on that. Yeah, don't worry. I have mentioned, yeah, I'm going to discuss because this all field we have discussed in the last. So I think it will be clear is the MTU. Now today we are going to discuss start from this point. So identification. So the identify a datagram originating from the source host. So by the example, it will clear that my source address is going to define by the source address. Okay, so it's a originated address. Key, my packet is going to generate from this source. So when you will discuss on the header, so the source address field will be always available. Now a combination of the identification and source address must uniquely define a datagram as its leaves from the source node. Now you can just consider this source have an address of source address, and it's going to follow the 5 value into the network. So what is the mean of this 5 value into the network? That means what? It will follow the 5 value which was just added to the address by the source. So now you can just consider number of source maybe into the network, but this receiver is going to receive, please understand by this example. So identification can be understand easily by this. Just wait. I'm trying to explain, Tilan. Uh, in a network, one is my source, one is my destination. Okay, so I am considering it's my source and it's my destination. Now, the IP packet or IP header will just use a source address field, and this destination is also a destination for a number of senders. So now you can consider one sender is also here, one sender is also here. Now how many senders for this same destination? These three senders are for the same destination. One is this, one is this, one is this. Now it will receive a same packet with this source address also. Okay, there will be one source address, and this same packet from this source address also, same detail you can just consider, same address. Now you can just understand this thing. As a faculty, I am a receiver, okay, or I am a destination, and I am asking the same assignment. So all three students from my class, they will just send the same assignment with a different address. So the source address will be different, but the value will, the content of that assignment will be same. Okay, one is going to send by the Sunny, one is going to send by the Tilan, one is going to send by the Jinetu. So the assignment is same, but the address is different. But when this comes from a large network, okay, please understand that when this assignment will come from the large network, suppose it's going to follow the 5 nodes, and this is going to follow the 6 node to deliver the assignment, and this is going to follow the 3 nodes. So the same assignment is coming at this point. So to bifurcate this or to identify it's by your address, you will just add a identification value. Ki, sir, my packet, suppose number of packets are receiving for this same assignment. So how I will bifurcate? First for the source address, and I will just bifurcate it by a unique address also. The unique identification is 1, unique identification number is 2, unique identification number is 3. So when I am getting the combination of the header on the basis of this unique identification number, so that we call the new value of the identification, or that we call the identifier value. Is it clear? When the source address plus one identifier number will be added with this, so that the new number will be generated, that we call the identifier for that specific assignment. Okay, now in the next, when you will just send anything, so the assignment, now you are trying to send the different assignment, so this identification value will change. It will not always be 1 for a common assignment, it will 1, but for a different assignment when you are trying, so the identification value may be for this address 5, or maybe for this address 6, maybe for this address 7. So now the new identification value will be added with the source address and the 5. Is it clear, Tilan? What is the identification value? Arafat, is it clear? What is the identification? Why we are using the identification? If you are going to use a one common identification with the 100 packets, then I can consider this 100 packets coming from a same source for a same purpose. Okay, like ID for us. No, ID is Ravi, you can understand ID will just defined by the source address, but for your same purpose we are going to use the identification. आप वैसे समझ सकते हैं कि आप एक ही फाइल को मुझे सेंड कर रहे हैं, so that file will be just come with the same identification number from the same destination. Is it clear, Ravi?
But sir, there is 3 senders, so each have a different ID, right?
Ravi, you can just understand this thing. Source address of this 3 sender will be different, and these three sender are sending the same file. So first I will recognize ki okay, the file is coming in a different, same file is coming from three different source. But when I'm trying, first I have received the two parts of the file. So I will find ki okay, this part is related to this sender, this part is related to this sender. So assignment is same, but for that specific assignment, we are using one value that we call the identifier. Are you getting my point? Okay, for the real life, you can just understand. I am taking 100 rupees from three students, and I am saying you have to add your name also and which type of notes you are inserting in the envelope, you have to mention also. So what is your name is source address, and which type of detail you are going to send, or how many notes or how many count you are, suppose Ravi is sending 250 two notes of 50 rupees, so that is the identification value. If Arafat is sending the 10 notes of 10 rupees, then it's the identification value. So when extra feature you are adding for your detail, so that we are saying the identification value. Is it clear, Ravi?
Yeah, yeah, sir. Got it.
Yeah. So what was the meaning here? Ravi, we have mentioned that identifies a datagram originated. So what is the mean of the datagram originated? Okay, it's originated from the source, from the source host. So the source host address will become a combination of the identification and the source address. So the source address was clear, but the combination of the identification, so I have considered the identification, must uniquely define a datagram as leaves from the source node. That means what, कि अब आपका envelope आपने 250 rupees के note plus your source address is defined it, so that should be unique. Okay, so that we call the identification. Or why we are using this identification? To reduce the complexity. What will happen if this number of if the source address will be same, but the same file is coming to the destination, then how we can bifurcate this? So that's we use the identification field. Now the flag, so I will explain the flag in the next. Now we are going to discuss on the fragmentation offset. So yeah, Tilhan, is it clear? What is the identification? Okay, okay. Now we are going to discuss on the fragmentation offset. Is the offset of the data, please understand what is the mean. Is the offset of the data in the original datagram measured in the unit of 8 byte? So that we call the fragmentation offset. That means you can just understand by this example. Just wait. If my original datagram, which we are trying to transfer through the IP, okay, its offset value without header. Okay, please consider its offset value without header. Suppose header was 20 and the offset value of this datagram was 100 byte. 100 bytes, okay? The offset value is 100 bytes. This 100 bytes we are considering a data field. Now this 100 bytes is going to divide by the 8. Okay, this 100 bytes is going to divide by the 8. So you can just consider how much will be around yeah, 100 is going to divide by the 8, so it may be 12.5. So the 12.5 will be the fragmented value. Why? Because this fragmented value, it's going to represent, just wait. Sorry. It's going to represent the unit of 8 bytes. That means in a fragmented offset, we have combination of 8 bytes, 12 combinations. So that we call the fragmentation offset. Is it clear? Anyone have any doubt regarding this fragmentation? Yeah, Tilan, is it clear? Yeah, Sunny, please concentrate on this definition so it will be clear. Fragmentation offset is the offset of data. Okay, so what is the mean of data? So the mean of data is this, not header. In the IP, we are considering the mean of data. That means how much data we are trying to deliver through this. Is the offset of data in the original datagram measured in the unit of 8 bytes. Are you getting my point? In the unit of 8 bytes. So you can just consider the meaning of 8 byte. Okay. Sorry. Suppose we are considering we have 100 bytes. Okay. Now I am trying to represent or fragment it into the 8 bytes. Are you getting my point? If one of IPv4 packet I have, or in this IPv4 packet 20 byte is going to represent the header, and remaining 10 bytes is containing in the form of data. Now the remaining 100 byte is containing in the form of data. So how I can decide what should be the fragmentation offset of this? I will explain what is the mean of this fragmentation offset. So we just subdivide the fragmentation of this data. So we just combine the 100 bytes of data into the unit of 8 byte. Okay, units of 8 bytes. That means 100 bytes can be bifurcated, we can just fragment it into a combination of 8 byte. So when you will divide this 100 bytes, okay, so I am saying one will be the combination of 8. So what will first you will just divide it by the 8. So the first fragmentation value will become around 12. So that we call the fragmentation's value. Is it clear? Arafat? Sunny, is it clear? Yeah, so now you can say what is the fragment? Sir, offset is the same like header. No, Ravi. Offset. Yeah, you can just consider one set. Don't confuse. I'm just, I'm not considering the header. So without header, we are considering the offset. Is it clear? Is the offset of the data into the original datagram. That means एक जो पैकेट है मेरा, उस पैकेट का केवल डेटा और ओनली डेटा, इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ फ्रेगमेंटेशंस. Yes, sir, we will have 12 segments or 12.5 value. Yeah, Tilhan, you can just consider the fragmentation's value 12.5. Okay. Segment was a different concept, but fragmentation value is here. Now in the next slide, you will understand, sir, why we were using the fragmentation offset. So let's discuss the flag which we were considering, or I have mentioned it will use in the next slide. So by this diagram, you can just understand. First flag 3 bits, then 13 bits we are going to use to define the fragmentation offset. So the fragmentation offset, how many fragmentations we have to generate. So this flag will play the main role for the execution of the fragmentations. So the unit of the fragmentations will be always units of the 8 byte. That means you are trying to, for the real life example, if you want to understand, like this, Ravi want to deliver me 100 rupees. Okay, now I will consider in this 100 rupees, 8 rupees will be 1 unit of the fragment. Is it clear? So how many fragment will be converted of this 100 rupees? So combination of 8 rupees. Okay, so the 12 combination will be generated. So that we are saying the fragmentations. Now, how I will decide that this fragmentation should be done or not. So we just decide these things with the help of flag. So this 3-bit used for the fragmentation. Now this 3 bits, first bit is reserved for the future and first bit is just going to blank. Okay, and the second bit is going to use for the D value, and third field we use for the M value. So the D value is going to represent do not fragment. Okay, and the M value is going to represent more fragments. So now the first bit is reserved and it's not used till this point, but in the present scenario we are using the first bit. The second bit, if we are considering one, required the packet not to be fragmented and drop into packets when the maximum transfer unit is this. So that time we use the do not fragment if it's less than the maximum transfer unit, and when the M value is higher that then we follow the more fragments. That means what? That's why I was considering this all field. If we are trying to encapsulate one of the packet, and in this packet we have a maximum transfer unit or MTU. So I was explaining the MTU, what is the mean of this MTU. So we follow the MTU. Now for the better execution and delivery of this MTU, we are trying to use the fragmentation and non-fragmentations. So suppose you can just consider 65,535 byte we are trying to send through the hyper channel. So we are trying to fragment this into a different part. So that's why we are using the more fragment value if the maximum is high, and if the value is low, then we are not going to use, or we are not going to fragment this. Now the third bit, one more fragment pegged later, or 0, it's the last. So this is the representation. When we 1, then we are considering do not fragment. When the value will be 0 of this, then we are considering more fragment, and when value is going to exchange, the thing is going to work in that way. So that's why we use the flag. Is it clear why we are using the flag? Yes. Yeah, Tilhan, I think it will be clear. Okay, Tilhan. Yeah. This, you are asking identification. I'm saying assignment is going to identify by the source address also, and one unique address you are going to add in this. So that was the identification. कि यार for your better identification, you are going to use source address also and identification of the file also. Now the fragmentations. When you are trying to send that assignment, so the total size of that assignment can be transferred, because the maximum option you have, you can just send this assignment in a single packet. But you are trying to use, because the single packet value is high. Are you getting my point? You can say you have a capacity and you have a channel. In this channel, you can just transfer that complete assignment into a single packet. Okay, that we are saying the IP datagram. But your capacity of the channel, when the capacity of your channel will be less, then what you will do, use the same header, but you will just fragment your packets. So how you will fragment that packets? You will fragment that packet into the size of 12.5. So that was that thing I was explaining, the fragmentation. But how you will decide कि you have to fragment? So this thing will be decided by the flag. When the flag value, when the flag first value is reserved for the future, and out of this 2, when the value is 1, then you are not doing the fragmentation. But when the value is 1 of the M, then you are going to start the fragmentation. For a real life, you can just understand, if the capacity of your channel is low and you are trying to send the high size of packet, then what will be the value? Yeah, Arafat, if you are going to understand the question, then you can. Tilan, if your channel value, or if your channel size is low and you are trying to send the number of you are trying to send the heavy MTU, So what you will do, you will just fragment it. And what will be the value of the flake? So the value of the flake will be m will be 1. But in the case your channel is capable to deliver any kind or any size of your packet, so you are not trying to fragment it. So what the value? So the value of d will be 1. Is it clear, Dilhan? So that's why we use the flake. Yeah, it's like that key. If I was trying to send this 3 envelope to me, so one person is going to deliver this 3 envelope. So I will ask with that person, okay, should I break this 3 envelope in a different envelope, or you are capable to deliver this 3 envelope? So he will say, yeah, I can carry this 3 envelope. Or if he is not capable to carry that 3 envelope, then he will say, you have to just separate this 3 envelope into a 6 envelope. So I will deliver this 6 envelope because it will easy to carry. So that's why now you have converted this 3 envelope into the 6 envelope. So that's why we use the flake. Is it clear? So I think it will be clear to everyone how we are using this all fields. So this was the things related to the IPv4. So the IPv4 header, everything should be clear to everyone. Protocol, time to live, and why we are using. Okay. If anyone have any doubt, then you can ask me. Now we are just coming on the next point, that we are saying the IPv6. Okay, so today I am trying to just finish this IPv6 also, cause if all the fields are clear, then you can understand easily here. Now, always keep this point in the mind. Although IPv4 is well designed, data communication has evolved since the inceptions of IPv4 in the earlys of 1970s. So when this book was going to write, when this all concept was going to write, so it was just early of 1970s. But now we are talking in a 2021. So the journey is 41 year. Okay, so after this 41 year, we have requirement and we have started the use of IPv4. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? The thing was just started with the IPv4, but now today we are trying to extend the things with the IPv6, and we are also using a new version. So the network layer protocol in the TCP/IP model suite currently was a IPv4, although it was just well designed into the 1970s and all thing was happening with the IPv4. But for the some deficiency that time, MEC is that some deficiency was unsuitable for the fast growing internet. When the internet will go fast, so then it will not suitable for the execution. So that's why we have started the planning of the IPv4, and we have received number of advantages in this. So that is the form of extended version of the IPv4 that we are saying the IPv6. So the advantages are packet format and extension header. So these two advantages are inbuilt into the IPv4. So let's into the IPv6. So let's understand what is the IPv6. So the IPv6 is a latest version of the IP protocol. In this IPv6, we have a large address space for the both source address also and for the destination address also. So we are using the IPv6 better header format. In the IPv6, we have a better header format because in a IPv4 there was a number of complication. That's why it was taking much time. Now the new options field we have available for the different kind of services into the IPv6. Now allowance for the extensions, we can use some extensions for extension services when we are trying to use the intelligent kind of network. So it's allow for the extensions. Now support resource allocation also. So this IPv6 support resource allocation also, and it's also support to the more security. So one by one, I will explain the advantages, and it will be clear when we are going to discuss on the header of the IPv6. So if someone is going to ask you what is the difference between the IPv4 and IPv6, so the IPv4 was just started in the data, or it's just involved in the data communication or in the TCP/IP network suite in the starting of 17, but there was some deficiency for the improvement of the network or the improvement of the internet. So the improvement, we are living in the improvement of the internet. Okay, it was comfortable till the 18th, or till the starting of 90, when we were not using the social networking, we were not using or extending the things in the uh, extend we were not using the internet in a different way, but today we are using the internet in a different way. So the very important features we have requirement, so the planning is coming to the way of the advantage: large address space, better header format, new options, it's allow for the extension, it's support for the resource allocation, and it's provide the more security. So when we are expecting this all features, then we are trying to shift on the IPv4, oh sorry, IPv6. And the IoT is one mechanism, if you know, and it's one kind of technology which is going to support and which is expecting this all features. So that's why in the IoT we are using the IPv6. Is it clear? So let's discuss one by one, and I will explain this thing, ki what is the mean of large scale. When I will explain the address, I will explain the better header. So at this point, you have to just keep this thing in your mind, ki IPv6 by its size, it's provide the large address space. When the 32-bit was there for the IPv4, then the number of range was low. But when 128 bits is coming into the picture, then you can just consider it will provide the large scale of the network. So the size of IPv4 was 32-bit and the size of IPv6 is 128. So the large scale is going to come into the picture. Now the better header format. So let's discuss on the header format. Okay. In the IPv6 datagram, the header and payload, so we fix the header format because there was not fixed. It was vary between 20 to 60 into the IPv4. But here we fixed a header size, or the base header size is 40. Keep less than 40, we are not going to consider the header, but more than 40 we can consider, but we try to best use 40 byte header size. Now the payload height size will be the same, 65,535. Don't confuse ki I always using the header size of 40 bytes, 65,500 bytes, and what is the mean. So I will just explain this thing in a real life also. When we are working in the next lab, I will try to explain the uh, one of experiment on this. So we will capture one IP packet and I will show this all field. Okay, what is the value of this payload, what is the value of this header in a packet which you are going to receive in the internet. Okay, so it will be very clear to everyone. So now the extension header option is available here, and the data packet for the upper layer. So it's a format of the IPv6. Now let's understand how header is different. And we were saying the better header format. So let's discuss how many fields we have in IPv6. Uh, in the IPv6, we use first 4-bit for the version, so it will define the same. Now next 4-bit we are using for the priority. Okay, so I will explain later ki what is the mean of the priority, but at this time you have to understand the 4-bit PIR value for the priority we are using. Now next, remain 30 sorry remain 24-bit we use for the flow level. Okay, so I will also explain ki what is the mean of flow level. So the first out of first 32 bits, first 4-bit we are using for the version, 4-bit we are using for the priority, and 32-bit we were using for the flow level. On the next, we are using 16-bit for the payload length, and 8-bit we are using to define the next header address, and the 8-bit we are using for the hop limit. So one by one I will explain what is the mean of hop limit, what is the mean of payload, and I will relate also this payload with the IPv4, and I will relate this hop limit with the uh, IPv4 options. Now, the next 32-bit same for the source address, next 32-bit for the destination address, and all the option field or the extension of the header was defined in a option field. So in the IPv6, sorry, in the IPv4, just wait, there was one optional field. This optional field was using for the future, but in the IPv6 we are using the optional field, and how we are using the optional field into the IPv6 I'm going to explain in the continuation. So let's compare comparison between IPv4 and IPv6 packet header. I think all the roles of the IPv4 packet header will be clear. So now we are just going to compare. The header length field is estimated into a IPv4, eliminated into the IPv6 because the length of the header is fixed in this version. So is it clear? The header length, why we have removed the header length? Because the header size is fixed. The service type field eliminated into the IPv6, the priority and the flow label field together take over the function of the service type. Which type of service we are using, it will be defined by the priority and it will be defined by the flow label. So one new value is going to introduce service field IPv4. Now the total length field is eliminated into IPv6 and replaced by the payload field. So this payload field we are going to use the total. There was one field total length and it was defining what is the header size, and it's a combination of data. But here we have combined the payload field. So what is one value? Suppose we are saying in the IPv4 payload value is 10, then it will automatically define what will be the, it will be the combination of header and data also. That's why we have removed that, or it's replaced by. The identification value, flag and offset eliminated from the base header into the IPv6. They are included into the fragmentation or extension of the header. So there was three field: identification, flag and offset fragmentations. So we have just extended, or we have extension of the header with the fragmentations. So the extension I will explain what are the extension we are using for the IPv4. So this all fields are going to combine in the extension fragmentations. Now the TTL field is called the hop limit. So there was one field of the TTL. So this TTL field is just going to replace by the hop limit. So the mean of this hop limit and TTL field will be clear. Suppose I was saying, as the sender, I am generating one packet, and that packet's TTL field value is 5. Okay, you can just consider the TTL field value is 4 and the hop count value is 4. That means that packet from the sender to receiver, it will only live, or it will only live till the point of the 4 hop count. That means one is sender, then first hop count, it will follow H1, it will follow the H2, it will follow the H3, and it will follow the H4. So till H4, if it's not going to find the receiver end, it will discard. Okay, so if we are deciding the hop count value is 4, then it will only travel, or packet will only travel till the value of hop count 4. If the value will be 5 and the value we have decided hop count is 4 and it's required the 5, then we have to increase the value of hop count, and we have to find out the new way for the hop count. Are you getting my point? What is the mean of this time to leave, or what is the mean of this hop count? Yes. Yeah, Arafat, from my side, I have completed. I don't know, you will get the detail related to it's published or not. I'm
Sir, it is
asking this.
published today.
Yeah.
It is published today.
Okay, it's published now. Okay, 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 okay. So you can check. I think some student have mentioned very good things, and some student have just try, or some student have not try to explain anything. Okay, so I will expect you all of you have to try. Yeah.
But only three subject published, sir.
Yes.
Only three subjects published.
So computer network is published or not?
Yeah, published, sir.
Okay. So Ravi, what's your marks?
28.
28. Very nice. Very nice. Arafat, you are?
Sir, I didn't check it. I will let you know.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so dear all, I was just trying to compare. I think the comparison will be very clear to everyone. The TTL field, and I will explain this in routing also, ki how we are using the TTL, so it will be clear to everyone. Otherwise, the protocol field replaced by the next header. So we were trying to define the things by the protocol, ki which protocol we are using. But this protocol is going to define by the protocol field. But here we are using the next header field to define that. Okay. So in the next lecture, this same, but there's some difference are here. So you can just compare. Okay, there is one compare table, and the same function is going to follow by the IPv6 and IPv4, but we have just combined some field. So I think for this lecture, it's sufficient. In the next lecture, we are going to start the concept of IP addressing. If anyone have any doubt regarding IPv4 and IPv6, then you can ask me. Or freshly one more time, I will explain the header field, but are same. Okay. Yeah. So yes, Nigatu, you have to just. Okay, so let's summarize what we have discussed today. In the next lecture, we will start the addressing concept. Today, we have compared the IPv4 and IPv6. I have explained both the header of IPv4 and IPv6. So there are some advantages. So large size, better header format. So the better header format I have compared, and I have explained all the fields related to the IPv4 and IPv6. If anyone have any doubt, then you have to go through this detail from your book also, and you can ask, because it's a very important, because the header should be clear to everyone. Because if this header will not clear to everyone, then you can't develop any kind of application or network based application. Okay, so this thing should be clear to everyone, and I will also explain this thing by the practical example, ki how the one, when we will capture one packet and I will open that packet and all the fields will be there. Okay, so don't worry. Is it clear to everyone? From my side, can I consider this? Yeah, so if anyone have any doubt, then you can ask me. I'm ending this session here. In the next session, we are going to discuss on the addressing.